Yes, you did it just fine. Not to worry. We can learn new things.
We're supposed to.
We are. We're supposed to. So now it is my pleasure to once again welcome our guest speaker today, Reverend Sonya Milton, who, as we all know, travels from Napa to join us here. And I'm very grateful she had a decent day to make that drive. So always her message is inspiring, and we just want to welcome you so warmly today, Reverend Sonya.
But, when I went to, hi everybody, hi. When I went to Unity School to become a minister, both Hal and I, 1800, no, it was 1989 when we first went there. And one of the things that's required of us is to create a chapel service. So we have to put on a whole service and get the music, do the whole thing, which is a big deal. And that song, The Long and Winding Road, has always been a real spiritual song to me. And I love the Beatles. I know the words to probably every song. And so that was the focus of my chapel service. I called it The Long and Winding Road, and it was about my own journey and how we all have the journey. It's the same message every time. We just package it and repackage it, and then repackage it and repackage it. 2 weeks ago, I spoke at Unity of Linwood, which is a suburb of, I don't know if it's a suburb, but it's outside of Seattle. And something in the way their invocation at the beginning so moved me, I wanted to share it with you, because this was really interesting. So this is from Unity of Linwood's invocation. Though imagined and named variously, there is a singular and eternal ground of being from which all life emanates and into which all life retreats. We choose to call this ground of being God. By extension, we come to understand that we are spiritual in nature, human in expression, and limitless in potential. We gathered today to remember such truths, to celebrate our unity, and to honor all life. Isn't that cool? It's like just another way of looking at the same thing. Yeah, so I want to explore this morning this notion that everything that was really truly meant for us might already be here right in front of us. And Hal and I just by chance watched a documentary about Charlie Sheen. Has anyone seen that? It's interviews with him and about his life. And what really struck me was how he had everything. And soon as things got really good, he would mess it up with drugs and alcohol and behavior. And then he would get clean and have more and more wonderful wife, children, and then he'd mess it up. And this happened over and over and over. And I just started wondering about why he did it in such extremes and why we might do that. When we lived in the Los Angeles area, I would work at a place called Live and Learn, which was a center in the valley there. And there was a woman who put on a one-woman show, and it was, her acting and singing. And it was a story about a woman, and I don't remember her name. Her first name was Hattie. But she was this is a true story, an early investor, woman, entrepreneur in the 1920s, and she amassed a great fortune from the stock market. But she lived like a pauper, and she treated her children that way. So they never had enough. They lived poorly. And this story, she sang a song called How Good Am I Willing to Have It? Because it wasn't that she was austere from a spiritual point of view. It was she was so afraid to have what she had, so she kept herself at nothing. How good are we willing to have it? So I want to share a riddle from the Tibetan tradition, and this is it. It's so close, you can't see it. It's so profound, you can't fathom it. It's so simple, you can't believe it. It's so good, you can't accept it. And what is it? The wonderful thing about this riddle is it's compounded of paradox. I mean, it's pure positivity. It's so close, it's so profound, it's so simple, it's so good. And yet there's this pure negativity. You can't see it, you can't fathom it, you can't believe it, you can't accept it. And so it's no matter how we look at it, what we call this it escapes the looking and the telling. Well, I have an experience with this it, and I've probably shared it with you many times, was in my growing up where we didn't have any really religion. My mother's statement was always, it loves to happen. You know, that thing, that godness loves to happen. So when I read this, I really connected with that it. So this tradition, these riddles aren't referred to as riddles in this tradition. They're actually called the 4 faults of awareness. So the first is it's so close, you can't see it. It's like you can kind of feel it, right? It's this, it's like space. It's right here, but we can't see it. In the Quran, it says, I'm closer to thee than thy jugular vein. And if we find anything closer to us than this awareness, this consciousness, that doesn't seem to be placed anywhere particular. It's not in our brain, or particularly in our big toe. It's everywhere present. It emanates. And it's so profound, you can't fathom it. And this is like the bottom line drops out. It simply says we can't understand what it is. And mystics have always pointed out that awareness is the ground of being. In the book of Acts, the disciple Paul, well, he was an apostle, not a disciple, right? Because he was after the 12 disciples. He's writing about God, and he says, for in him we live, in him we live and move and have our being. It's so profound, you can't fathom it. It's so simple, you can't believe it. And what is so simple is that we can't find any kind of story or concept for us to believe in. The Buddhists call it emptiness. The Sufis call it the void of pure potential. Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, the pearl of great price. And Wallace Stevens, this amazing writer, notes from his notes toward a supreme fiction. In the uncertain light of single certain truth, equal in living changingness to the light, in which I meet you, in which we sit at rest for a moment in the central of our being, the vivid transparence that you bring is peace. So becoming transparent isn't really as difficult as it sounds, because our true nature is already transparent. When you think back when you were 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 years old, don't you see that you're that same person? There's that never changingness to you. That's the same always. That's some kind of self that isn't really a self. This transcendence of pure presence, this presence awareness. And we can't picture it. If we try to fathom it, we can't. And yet it's here, this simple, pure presence of being. And if anything else, what I want when I'm here with you or whenever I get to like stand up here, and the coolest part for me is I get to really discern more clearly what I'm thinking about. Because it's like in that moment, I'm kind of that kind of person. I heard an author say once that he writes so he knows what he's thinking. And I realize I do this, so it like helps me clarify what it is I've been thinking about. And I believe that we're all the same. You know, this is my suit today. So it's a real gift. It's so good, you can't accept it. And that's really my focus this morning. We might think that if something is really, really good, we could easily accept it. That goodness, this line points to our capacity of our acceptance. We cannot contain it. My cup runneth over. I mean, we've come to believe that this reality that we live in is a really tough place. We're threatened by illness and violence and death and politicians that we don't particularly agree with. everything that we have that one day will be taken away. So how could truth be something so good that it holds both the good and supersedes our pain and our grief? How do we live in that tension in the middle? As long as we think that there's something we have to do, seeing, believing, fathoming, accepting, we will miss what this is all about. It's so simple. It's right here. It's every single breath. It's that it's so good pervades our being. And I know all of us have something we have to go back out to that's difficult and challenging, whether it's with ourselves, our relationships, the world. And yet that's always been, and it always will be. What's never changing, and the form it takes is always changing. What never ever changes is this itness. That we can't see it and we can't fathom it. We can't understand it. Rumi advises, close these eyes to open the other. Let the center brighten your spirit. So I want to share a story with you that I'm sure I shared it with you before. I kind of looked back through notes and I couldn't quite find that I had, because it's just such a favorite story of mine, and it really speaks to this. It's a Hasidic story. It's kind of right for, the Hanukkah Christmas season, which is kind of my tradition. But it's all of it, right? We call it unity. Jewish girl becomes a unity minister. But it's just right because it's called unity. And you find what you want where you find it, So many of you I know have been with this congregation, with this community for years and years and years because it just touches and feels something. I've spoken with this community in a couple of different venues and different ministers and different times. And you're still here, you see. You're still here and you're thriving. Do you know how many churches are in the red? And I looked at your financial support, your report, and here you are. It's still happening, and it's happening beautifully, which is only a part of it, but it's helpful when the money balances out, isn't it? So I'm going to tell you a story that you may have heard before, and that you may have never heard before. And if you have heard it before, this time you might find something in it that you didn't really get before. So hundreds of years ago, in the mid-18th century, somewhere in Eastern Europe, there lived a very poor man and his wife, and their names were Joseph and Rebecca. And their home was nothing more than a ramshackle shack. And their only possession was a single scrawny cow, and from whose milk and cheese they fed themselves and had some kind of a meager living. Well, one afternoon, not long before sundown, Joseph hears a knock at the door, and when he opens it, his jaw just drops in astonishment. Because standing before him is a man known far and wide as the greatest Kabbalist in the world, the man known as the Baal Shem Tov, the master of the divine name. And he's accompanied by a few of his students who stand respectively behind him. We've been traveling all day, and now it's almost sundown, says the Baal Shem Tov. May we join you for the evening meal? Of course, says Joseph, standing aside as the masters and his students open into his humble, very meager shack. At that moment, Rebecca, who's standing at the stove, looks over her shoulder, and she too is astonished and a bit frightened by the sudden appearance of this great master. Why did he come to their home? Very well, says the Baal Shem Tov, glancing around. But I have to tell you that my students and I are very, very hungry after our travels, and we'd like some fine cuts of meat, some fresh vegetables, and of course, some very good wine. You can't accommodate us, can you? Well, Joseph really hesitates, and then he nods enthusiastically. Oh, yes, it's a great honor for us, and we want to give you exactly what you want. Let me speak to my wife for a moment. And he and Rebecca, retreat to a corner of the room. What are we going to do, she asked. How are we going to give these men what they want? We have no meat, no fresh vegetables, and they would never want to drink the splunk that we drink. Nothing we have is worthy of the Baal Shem Tov. And Joseph thinks for a moment, and finally he says, there's only one thing to do. I have to sell the cow in order to buy food. And there's no time to waste. And without another word, he hurries out the door. And within the hour, he returns with exactly the sort of meal the Baal Shem Tov had described, and Rebecca hurries to prepare it. And just as the great Kabbalist begins to eat, Joseph and Rebecca are amazed at how he eats, and he eats, and he drinks, and he drinks. And as soon as he finishes one plate, he immediately calls for more. He's like an eating machine. Even the students are amazed. They'd never seen this behavior before. As if the Baal Shem Tov intends to eat the poor man out of house and home, and that's exactly what's happening. After downing the very last morsel, the Baal Shem Tov pushes his chair back from the table and gets up to leave. Well, that was delicious, thank you very much, he says, and now we have renewed energy for the road, and we'll be on our way. And in a flash, just as easily as they got here, they were gone suddenly. Well, this is a fine mess, Rebecca says, after the door closes. Now we really have nothing, not even that scrawny cow. What are we going to do? We're going to starve, Joseph. And unable to bear this sight of his weeping wife and having no idea what to do, Joseph opens the door and steps out into the cold night air. And he finds himself walking in the forest with no real idea of where he's going. And how's he going to solve this terrible dilemma that he and Rebecca are now facing? And then without thinking, he falls to his feet, closes his eyes, and begins to pray. From the bottom of his heart, he prays for all the things he's never had. Not just for himself, but for his long-suffering wife as well. He's in that place. Now, just then, Joseph hears a rustling in the branches behind him, and as he opens his eyes, he sees someone stagger into the clearing. It's an old man, well-dressed but disheveled, who'd obviously been drinking. And as he catches sight of Joseph, his eyes shine with happiness. I'm so glad someone's here, says the old man, slurring his words. I don't want to die alone. Die, says Joseph, getting to his feet. You're not going to die. You've just had a little too much to drink. But as Joseph reaches out to steady the newcomer, the old man sighs and sinks to the ground. And as Joseph kneels beside him, the old man tells a painfully sad story. He's very wealthy, but his money is the only thing his family cares about. In fact, they're like vultures, just waiting for him to die so they could get their hands on his fortune. But they're in for a surprise, he says with a rueful smile. They don't know I've buried the treasure right here in this forest. They'll get nothing because they deserve nothing. I'm so sorry this has happened to you, says Joseph. It's cold out here, and you need a place to be warm and to rest. Come home with me. We'll warm you up, and you'll be at peace. But the old man just shakes his head. It's too late for that, he says. But you've been so kind to me, something that nobody has been for ages, for many years, and I will repay your kindness. Here, look. But as he reaches into the pocket of his coat, he begins coughing, and then just as suddenly, he falls silent, drops to the ground, and closes his eyes. His eyes close. Joseph quickly bends to help him, but sure enough, the man is dead. Now Joseph is more frightened and confused than ever, yet as he stares at the body beside him, he sees that in the instant before he died, the old man had withdrawn a slip of paper from his pocket. Joseph quickly takes hold of the paper and unfolds it, and lo and behold, to his amazement, it's a map. And when he follows it, he discovers a buried treasure beyond anything he could have imagined. Now 5 years pass, and one day the Baal Shem Tov and his students are again on the road when a fine carriage passes headed in the opposite direction. As the students look into the carriage, they're amazed to see the poor man who had struggled to provide them with dinner 5 years earlier. And sitting beside him is his wife. And they both look not only as if they're wealthy, but as if they don't have a care in the world. When the students turn to their master for some explanation, the Baal Shem Tov only smiles calmly, as if this is what he expected all along. You see, he says to his students, it was Joseph's destiny to be joyful and fulfilled, and he never thought to ask for everything that was really meant for him. He would have been content to spend the rest of his life with his one scrawny cow. And that's why I had to help him get rid of it. So, as we reflect in this season of holiday and how Spirit has been moving in and as us, not us and it, but us. It's all of us. I mean, Charles Fillmore taught about non-dual thinking years and years ago. Now it's a buzzword, all of a sudden. But it wasn't that there's a God out there, but that we are all it. Eric Butterworth said, we are like a wave in a drop in the ocean, not like a raisin in a bun. One of my favorite things to remember. So my intention has been to focus on love. How unconditional can my loving truly be? How can I have everything that's already right in front of me without bitching and moaning about it? Charles Fillmore, our Unity co-founder, called love the cosmic glue. And this is his definition of love. A magnet of the universe that attracts whatever is needed when consciousness is aligned with divine order. A magnet of the universe that attracts whatever is needed when consciousness is aligned with divine order. Isn't that beautiful? It's really simple. And of course, there's those moments, I read something recently, it was something like, I might have even had it here. I did. It's a quote of Sam Harris, who's a wonderful teacher, meditation teacher. I listen to his podcast and app. He's called Waking Up. Sam Harris. He says, the more you experience your mind at its best, at its most open and clear, the more you'll notice your failure to truly live from that place. So that awareness, we're not supposed to be perfect with some ideal out there. We're simply supposed to be us. I'm not supposed to be you, and you're not supposed to be me, and you're not supposed to be her. We're ourselves. That's why that memory of 2 years old or 4 years old or whatever it was, that's the same person we are now. And we keep getting to be more of ourselves. And that's one positive side of the aging process I'm finding, as I continue to exfoliate those things that aren't me, that I thought I've had to hold on to become really true to myself. So I have a few questions for you to ponder. You don't have to answer them now. Sometimes questions don't require an answer. They just require pondering. What is your scrawny cow? What's the one thing that you're willing to spend the rest of your life with, but that has very little life in it? Because if you let go of that, then you'll have nothing. And that's an interesting cycle. What are you not asking for? What are we not asking for? Because it loves to happen. What's that one thing? And there might be many. It might be an idea. For me, it's a closet, that I keep not, I know that once I clean that thing out, there's going to be another level of peace within me. And I keep looking at it and waking up in the morning and saying, once I clear out all those bags. Anybody collect bags? I love bags and purses, and I use the same purse all the time. And the bags are just, they're too good to get rid of because they're really good bags. Oh, how silly. What if I had more room for something I really desire and want? But how about in our lives, our relationships, our preferences, our paradoxes? It loves to happen, which I believe echoes the four awarenesses of the Sufis, as well as Charles Fillmore's definition of love, a magnet of the universe that attracts whatever is needed when consciousness is aligned with divine order. What are you not asking for that's already right in front of you? So these apparent miracles and divine happenings, we have a nice little treat, a chant. So we have Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and New Year's and whatever else anybody else is doing. But whatever else you're observing, celebrating, what it's truly all about was this it. This it that's so close, so profound, so simple, and so good. Even when we can't see it nor accept it.
It's so close.
So close.
It's so profound.
It's so profound.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
So good.
It's so close. It's
So close.
so profound. It's
So profound.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so close.
It's so close.
It's so profound.
It's so profound.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Let me hear you sing it now. It's so
It's
close.
so close.
So profound.
It's so profound.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Without the music now, it's so close.
It's so close.
It's so
So profound.
so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Again.
It's so close.
It's
So profound.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
It's so good.
It's so good.
One more time.
It's so close.
It's so
profound.
simple.
It's so simple. It's so good. And so in this tender, transparent hearts of ours, we take a few minutes in the silence, except for Guy channeling this goodness through music. And we relax. And we turn our attention towards gratitude. Sometimes that's hard to grasp when things aren't going the way we want them to, when there's disruption in body, mind, relationship, situation. And yet here we are. And we have this it that is so close and so profound and so simple and so good. And we call that God, Spirit, the one divine. And we are it. It's not outside. It's right in the cradle of your own heart. So as you can, identify a few things you are truly grateful for. And let it rest in your heart. Knowing that truly, truly in God mind, in the wave of the ocean, in the movement of spirit, that all things do work together for good. Appearances may shift and change. Situations may come and go. And yet there's that you that's always been and always will be. And that you is connected to another you and another you and another you, because truly, as we sang earlier, there is a oneness. And as we live from that place of oneness, our situations, our perception of our situations shift and change. And we are so very grateful. Let us be silent for a few moments. Silent. 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 And as we continue to release and let go, remembering our oneness, that it's so close and so profound and so simple and so good. It's what and who we are, nothing else. And so we allow our consciousness to wrap around this grandness of life. And our gratitude as we sit at the altar of love. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, as we allow our eyes to gently open. And so it be. Namaste and shalom.